The cobblestones are usually full of drama, but the latest tragedy has shattered the community entirely. In the wake of Theo's sudden and tragic death, the street is completely fractured by suspicion, grief, and whispers behind closed doors. Every single resident is struggling to cope with the heavy fallout, and honestly, no one knows who they can actually trust anymore. If you thought you knew the absolute truth about what happened on that fateful night, think again, because the upcoming twists will leave you speechless. Before we dive deep into the dark secrets, the private agreements, and the shocking departures shaking up the cobbles, please make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to CoronationST Update. Hit the notification bell so you never miss out on the juiciest street gossip, because trust me, we are unpacking everything today, and you are going to want to hear this. Right now, the atmosphere on the street is nothing short of toxic. You can practically feel the tension in the air, and it is taking a massive toll on everyone's mental state, starting with Todd. Todd is finding himself at the absolute center of a well-meaning but incredibly intrusive intervention. His friends have noticed him spiraling down a very dark path, and they are deeply worried about what he might do next. They gathered around him, completely cornering him in the living room, trying to force him to open up. But if you know Todd, you know that pushing him into a corner is the absolute worst thing you can do. He felt trapped, defensive, and honestly, completely suffocated by their constant hovering. They keep watching him like a hawk, terrified he might just completely lose it, or even consider a situation where he offed himself out of pure guilt and despair. But Todd is fiercely protective of his secrets. He lashed out, telling them to back off and mind their own business, which only made his friends even more suspicious. Is Todd just grieving? Or is there something far more sinister hiding behind those defensive walls? Some fans are speculating that Todd knows exactly what led to Theo's death, and the weight of that secret is what is actually tearing his mind apart. While Todd is dealing with his overbearing friends, Daniel is facing an entirely different kind of nightmare. Daniel has just been handed a work suspension after some very serious accusations surfaced regarding his professional conduct. His entire career, something he has built his life around, is suddenly hanging by a single thread. The sheer humiliation of being escorted off the premises and told to pack his things has left Daniel absolutely fuming. His mounting anger is reaching a boiling point, and you can see the absolute frustration in his eyes every time someone asks him how his day was. He is completely exhausted by the constant whispering campaigns and the judging looks from the locals. The pressure is so immense that Daniel finally snaps, realizing he cannot breathe in this environment for one more second. He decides he has to seek a temporary escape, completely vanishing from the street to clear his head. But leaving town right now is the worst possible optics. People are already whispering that Daniel ran away because he has something to hide. Is his sudden departure truly just an innocent escape to cool off, or is he running from a massive truth that connects his suspension to the wider chaos currently suffocating the community? And just when you think things cannot get any more intense, we have to talk about Sarah. Sarah has just come forward to recount an absolutely harrowing experience that has left everyone's jaw on the floor. She revealed that she was taken completely against her will by some incredibly shady individuals connected to a local haulage firm. They forced her into a vehicle, driving her out to the middle of nowhere in a terrifying ordeal that felt like it lasted a lifetime. The sheer psychological terror she endured is unimaginable. She explained how they used intimidation and fear, making it crystal clear that if she spoke out, her entire family would pay the price. There was no physical altercation, but the emotional manipulation and the constant threat hanging over her head was enough to leave her completely traumatized. Now, her family is living in pure fear, jumping at every shadow and double-checking every lock on the doors. Sarah's horrifying revelation complicates the authorities looking into the matter regarding Theo in a massive way. The officers are completely baffled, Are the individuals from the haulage firm the ones truly responsible for Theo's death? Did Theo find out about their underground operations, and was Sarah taken as a warning to keep everyone else in line? The pieces of the puzzle are scattering, and the authorities are scrambling to figure out if these two devastating events are directly linked. This overwhelming fear has completely ruined the vibe of the community, turning neighbours against each other. The tension is incredibly high between Will and Sean, and it is causing some major fractures. Will and Sean are completely at odds regarding how to handle the parenting of their family during this crisis. Will believes in strict rules, keeping their heads down and shutting out the noise to protect their own. Sean, on the other hand, simply cannot stop feeding into the local gossip. Sean is out there talking to everyone, swapping theories and fueling the rumour mill, which makes Will absolutely furious. Will feels like Sean is putting a massive target on their backs by staying so involved in the street drama. They had a massive blowout argument right in the middle of the pavement, throwing some serious DMM accusations at each other. Sean accused Will of being completely emotionally unavailable, while Will shot back that Sean's obsession with the community's tragedy is sick and twisted. This bitter clash perfectly highlights the intensely toxic atmosphere currently permeating the street. People are so desperate for answers that they are willing to tear their own families apart just to feel a false sense of control. Because of this suffocating environment, several different characters have made the drastic decision to leave town altogether. They are packing their bags and fleeing to find some kind of clarity, away from the prying eyes and the constant, heavy grief. But every single time someone leaves the street, the suspicion only grows stronger. The mystery of who caused Theo's death remains completely unsolved, and the paranoia is reaching a fever pitch. Private accusations are being thrown around in locked living rooms, and secret agreements are continuing to surface. People who previously hated each other now suddenly allying, shaking hands in dark corners, promising to keep certain details out of the official reports. We are hearing whispers about hidden payouts, deleted text messages, and alibis that simply do not add up. If you look closely at the timeline of the night of Theo's passing, there is a massive gap of 2 hours where neither Todd, Daniel, nor the men from the haulage firm can be properly accounted for. And let us not forget the rumours regarding an unrecorded sensual encounter that might have triggered this entire chain of events. Was Theo involved in an intimacy scandal that went completely wrong? Did someone discover a secret intermission truth that pushed them over the edge? Or perhaps it was related to substances. Maybe someone OD'd in the past, and Theo was threatening to expose who supplied the materials. The theories are absolutely wild, but they all point to one undeniable fact. The street is hiding a massive, dark secret. The authorities are doing everything they can, but the residents are actively working against them, protecting their own interests and covering their tracks. It is a brilliant, twisted web of lies, and we are here to untangle every single thread. The writing for this storyline has been absolutely top tier, keeping us all on the absolute edge of our seats. Just when you think you have pinpointed the one responsible for Theo's death, another secret agreement comes to light, throwing the entire investigation into pure chaos. We are going to keep tracking this explosive storyline every single day, breaking down the clues, analysing the suspicious departures, and exposing the absolute truth behind the haulage firm's dark dealings. You definitely do not want to miss our next deep dive, where we will be exposing a completely unexpected connection between Sarah's terrifying ordeal and Daniel's sudden suspension. So if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to CoronationST Update, hit that like button, and leave a comment below letting me know your craziest theories. Who do you think is really behind all this? Let's chat in the comments, and I will see you all in the next video.